The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at mbradio.net.
Welcome to Beyond the Headlines with hosts MJ, H-Train, and Terri. Each week we put today's news into perspective. Join us on Facebook, X, YouTube, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, or anywhere you get your podcast. MBR, giving veterans a voice.
Hello.
Hello.
So never gonna stop. Pain in my veins, but I keep on pushing through.
Welcome.
Who is that? Who's that music by? Do you know?
No pain, no gain, and I can't pronounce the name. I'll have to text it to you later.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah. Because
How is everybody? I haven't been here in a while. I'm sorry about that. I was doing the wedding thing.
Yeah, how was that? How was the wedding?
Well, it's over. It's done. They're happily ever after on them, and everybody got to go back into their own peace.
Well, there you go.
So it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful weather. The fair was great. Got to see baby piglets, got to see baby goats, got to see baby cows, got to see all my family I haven't seen in years. Nobody had to pull out a piano string. So I guess we're all good.
Yeah, that's really good.
I got to see baby cows after you talked about your family.
No pun intended.
I got to see my family. I got to see baby donkeys. You know, I mean, it could get any worse. Oh, but hey, you know what? That's okay. That's all right. You had your time. Me and Tracer, we're gonna have our time in November because we're gonna go play with the monkeys.
Oh, I hope you're playing with the dolphins and the whales and everything else you see in the sea.
Or ride horses. I'm not sure which. We're gonna have to figure it out.
Oh no.
Oh man.
I want to see Joel on the donkey. Donkey.
Oh,
donkey. Donkey. Let's go, donkey.
Let's go, donkey.
It should be a fun time by all. There's still time, folks. If you want to get in, there's still time with Fairway Travels to go on that cruise. I believe it's November the 8th. And just get a hold of Fairway Travels and you can go on that cruise and have some fun, just like these characters here having monkeys in the middle of the ocean. I don't know about all that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know, you don't know how to party until age comes to the party. Okay. Have you seen the reels? I was told several times Saturday that I was the life of the party. Like they were upset that we were closing up, and we're like, dude, it is spitting rain. Of course we're breaking down and stuff, you know.
All right. I want to see Beaker on the onboard wave slider. I want to see Beaker at the evening casinos. I want to see Beaker at the bar buying rounds for everybody. Beaker has a job to do here.
Yeah, and I want to see Beaker go to Hair Club for Men because that wig, that stuff, that was going crazy. I thought my stuff was bad. His was all over the place.
Dude, I said that. I was like, Beaker needs to do something with those dreads, man. Now he knows how it is to have a windblown look as a female.
Even my wife said Beaker couldn't keep his head on straight.
You got it, Kaz. That's the fun of the party. He's wild, he's adventurous, and you never know what's going to happen with that dreads. Or did you have to go, Beaker, you need to calm down, boy. You need to calm down a little bit, man.
No, but I tell you what, when I'm in that Beaker suit, I feel like I'm a Superman. I feel like I'm like John Travolta. All the girls are magnets to me, and then I've got to face reality when I take the mask off. Yeah, they were here for the Ducks. They weren't here for me. So that's the only thing that kind of depressing about it afterwards, But
The life of a mascot. What can you
life
say?
of a mascot, yeah. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed when I was in high school. I was a tiger mascot, and I really enjoyed that. The most important thing that I really enjoyed with that was just going up and hugging the little kids, and the kids like hugging me and stuff like that. Because I tell you, when you're a kid, it's a lot easier getting hugs. When you get older, there's a lack of hugging. There's a lack of hugging, and there's a lack of flowers and roses given to you. So when you do get that, you want to appreciate that. That's one thing that I've learned over the years.
Well, I think if you have a lack of hugging, that's on you.
Well,
Just to go out and start hugging people, man.
what happens
You
if
could put
we live
Beaker
out
out there and
woods?
do free hugs.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Put
what
Beaker out there on the side of the highway or the side of the
No,
major
I got
artery.
the best
Free
idea.
hugs.
Best idea. Put Beaker in the kissing booth. Watch how many want to kiss Beaker.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know I told Tracer I was on the highway the other day and I saw a bumper sticker that said "honk if you love Jesus." I honked a bunch of times and they flipped me off. So you gotta be careful what you do out there.
Maybe that was a little too much.
I'm praying. What are you doing?
I know, right?
Change your bumper sticker.
Right?
Oh, that sucks. Especially at red lights. You're getting honked at and you're like, oh yeah, I know. Thank you for honking. And they're like, no, the red light. You're like, oh yeah, shit.
That's almost as bad as me being stopped at the stoplight on my motorcycle playing Taylor Swift, and the guy next to me is like, okay, go ahead and hand me your man card.
Yes. I would have asked for the same thing. I hope you were driving that motorcycle in Beaker.
Oh no.
No. That would
Well, I can understand the Swifty song if you were. I mean,
that would melt the costume. But I tell you what, as windy as that, it was really windy. It was really windy. I was really surprised at how windy it was.
You were like a sailboat on land with that costume.
I couldn't feel my butt. My tail feather was like flapping and stuff.
Cassie's like, who are you tail feathering your feathers for? I'm not. It was the wind. I can hear this conversation.
Oh man.
Bending down, shaking those tail feathers, man.
Hey, we got some announcements that we'll go ahead and read real quick before we get into it, before we forget. Number one, if you want to support MBR and you want to participate, we have a new sponsorship program. It's called the family program, family plan. You spend $5 a month, and every single Friday, yes, that's right, every single Friday, not once a month, but every single Friday, you will get 5 coloring books of Beaker and his friends on something that they're involving themselves with, and a nice little wallpaper that you can put on your computer, something that can never be done. It's limited edition. It's out of this world. Only the people that pay $5 a month will get it. It's not so much about the money. It's more about introducing your kids and your family to the Beaker family. And on top of that, we just want to get some subscriptions. We just want to get some real heavy support. And also, if you're looking to donate to MBR, but you want to have something just around the corner, Reefs Across America, we have a fundraiser. Tracer will put that link in the comments. But check this out. It's real easy. You go skip a haircut for a month, all right? Buy a reef, $17. It's not that much. This is what you get for $17. Me, Tracer, MJ, all of us here at MBR, we will coordinate, we will work it so that we will find somebody that can place that wreath on that gravestone, take a picture of it, and salute your loved ones. That's what we will commit to you. So if you're willing to donate and help us out, then we're willing to find somebody that will take a picture of, placing the wreath. And it's amazing because I mean, my best friend Brock, I bought him a wreath, and I've reached out to some people, and they're gonna place a wreath on his graveyard or his gravestone. And just remember, I understand that whole philosophy that, unless you're affected by it, you don't really support it. I want to bring this attention to you. There's a lot of veterans that don't have families. There's a lot of veterans that they gave up the ultimate sacrifice for their country because they didn't have families, because people that had families, they didn't want them to go through that. Let's honor them by at least showing up for them one day out of the year, and that's Christmas. I mean, it's not that big a thing. And we're not telling you to buy 8-9 wreaths. We're telling you to buy one wreath and to help a veteran who doesn't have family, that a veteran that's probably at his gravestone that died for our freedom, and he doesn't get a visit. This is the way they get their visits. So help us honor them. That's all I ask. So now out of the depressing talk or whatever, what do you guys got going on today?
Well, we were just chatting about a couple of different things. I think what's interesting is Hegseth and his twice a year PT and weigh-in. People are making such a big deal about it, but I mean, it's always been a thing in the Army where you weighed in twice a year, and every 6 months basically, and PT tests every 6 months. One was for record, the other was a diagnostic, and if you didn't have a record, then the diagnostic became your record. So this isn't new. So I'm kind of confused why people are so up in arms over it.
I think people are up in arms with the whole like the shaving profile and stuff like that, because he basically came out and said, hey, look, you know what? Those that have shaving profiles due to medical, work harder, go to special forces if you want to shave. We're not doing that shit here anymore. I think that's the reason why a lot of people are upset. And, honestly, I'm okay with it because, look, the military isn't for everybody. The military isn't for everybody. The military is for people that can put their feelings and their thoughts beside, and they can go and they can attack. They can fight,
Mm-hmm.
They can fight. They can, they see their best friend or whatever get killed, and they can continue walk. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that, and we have to understand that being in the military is not a privilege. It's not a right. It's what do you call it? It's a
honor.
It's an honor.
But it is a privilege to be in the military, to serve.
Well, yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think what he's trying to say is you're either going to conform, right? Or you can get out. Because as I was saying to Terri before you came in, we were talking about this, and I said, I for the life of me, I wouldn't probably recognize if I walked back into basic training today from 1986. I probably wouldn't recognize it. I probably wouldn't recognize Nellis Air Force Base in 1990 as I do today. I probably would not. I would be astounded at people's hair, at their facial hair, at their groomings, at the state of their uniforms being wrinkled and not ironed and pressed.
Well, hell, some of them have Burger King in the chow hall. I didn't even know that.
I would have. I mean, I think the discipline and that structure, discipline creates obedience, discipline creates structure. And I can understand people's ideology of the movement that states that's ridiculous, right? But if you're going to cry a tear because of your hair, or you're going to be upset because you can't have your facial hair, or you're going to be upset because your uniform's not pressed, then I agree with Hegseth, and I think it's time for you to go, because it's lost its structure. It's lost its it's lost its feel of disciplined military structure. And when that happens, I told Terri, so what are you going to do on the front line? Are you going to sit there going, wait, I need to do my hair. Wait, I need to shave.
Oh my gosh, I have a nail appointment.
Oh my gosh. Exactly. So I get the ruggedness of the front line. I'm not going to carry that discipline with me because there is no time. However, if you are going to be a professional soldier and you're going to stand up for this country, then I want somebody who looks that uniform. I want somebody who is disciplined enough to iron their clothes, disciplined enough to worry about their grooming.
Now, right? I will say this. Over the years, I do believe that some people have overused the shaving profile, misused it. Okay. I know that when I was stationed with a couple of black fellows at Fort Stewart, like their stuff is really serious. Like when they shave their hairs or whatever, they get underneath and they'll create like the boils and stuff like that, you know, and it gets really bad. I saw it in the field. So they have a huge medical concern. But you know, it's been almost 30 years since they've created that shaving profile. You would think that they would come up with some kind of a medical treatment to prevent that from happening to those that have the thick skin or the thick hair. I don't know what you want to call it. I do feel bad for them. You know, I really do.
The curly hairs.
I really do. I really do. I don't feel too bad for the people with the religion hair profiles, because I feel that that's something brand new. Like the military is kind of catering to them so that they will be a part of the military. But I do agree with
native tribe.
Yeah, but I do agree with Pete that, you know, this is the new military. We need to go back to basics, and we need to quit catering people just so that they join the military.
Right.
I do agree with that, because it's not the same. And I see it all the time on social media. People in uniform sitting there, you know, telling how they think and stuff like that. Man, if I told how I thought as a specialist when I was in, I would have gotten the shit slapped out of me by my squad leader. Because like my squad leader always told me, when you're in that uniform, you are Superman. You have no rights. You have no views. You don't have any rights or any views until that uniform comes off. And we need to go back to that, because there's a lot of complaining. There's a lot of bitching. And
I agree. I believe it became, for other words, I'm going to say liberal. And I'm not taking a political offense. I'm stating a fact of a noun, which means of their actions. Liberal.
Be careful, because that
politically not correct.
Will come out and attack us. We know who it is.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it became very relaxed. It became very, and it's been like that now. It's not just the last 4 or 5 years. The last 4 or 5 years got really bad, but it's been happening now since after maybe 2004, 2005. I noticed it even in Homestead Air Force Base, our Homestead Air Reserve. I noticed it big time, because the reservists that were there to coming off the base to go eat something, and I just happened to be such a small little town, and I'm watching, they have no respect with their hats. They don't take their hats off in the building. They have no respect of their shoes. They have no like one pant legs down, one pant legs tucked in a boot. They had no like. I'm watching this going, okay, are we back to just saying, yeah, I'm in the military and there's no conformity, there's no Unitarian, there's no nothing, and I'm watching it.
Tracer, you recently got out. Did you see the same issues in your unit, or do you think it's more active rather than like National Guard that have these issues that they're talking about?
Well, I wasn't National Guard, but we are overdue for a break, and so let's go with Dallas Alexander, "Child of This Land."
Everywhere I go, trouble seems to find me. There ain't no place that I fit in. Raised in the backwoods, and just like him, oh, I'm a fighting man. Well, I was born with a gun in my hand, child of this land. Lord, please save me from my sins, out here howling in the wind. Look to the west, see your sunset. Someday kneel at the pew. This old wasteland, it is my land. Around here I do what I wanna do. Well, I was born with a gun in my hand, child of this land. Lord, please save me from my sins, out here howling in the wind. Well, I was born with a gun in my hand, child of this land. Lord, please save me from my sins, out here howling in the wind. Everywhere I go, trouble seems to find me. There ain't no place that I fit in.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
And we're back.
I love the little beaker with the heart.
Yeah, buddy.
Playing my music, playing my sound.
How about my little beaker on the microphone? We can even play spin the
widget,
bottle.
the fidget widget.
Oh man. Okay,
Like
so
Tweedledum Tweedledee.
I don't exactly have a segment to where it's as the White House turns, just because I've had a lot going on today, as Tracer knows. So I wasn't able to bring this up. But one thing that I do want to bring up that, think it's kind of messed up, and there are a lot of people are yelling about it. Is the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl has addressed the Super Bowl halftime show, and instead of catering to people and making them feel, hey, it's all right, don't worry about it, we'll make settle things. They're fighting complaints with hate, basically. Bad Bunny went on Saturday Night Live and said, well, the Super Bowl is 4 months away. You have 4 months to learn Spanish. Deal with it. A lot of people are like, okay. Like, I have no problem with the performer Bad Bunny. I just know that I don't speak Spanish. Tracer's going to have to give me some lessons on the ship because the only word I know is bono. And
that's a good one to know.
Yeah.
Cerveza. Baño and agua. That's it, Joel. That's it. Right? We live by water.
I'm pretty sure that he's going to have more words than Save My Soul and Bono in the halftime show. So, I'm gonna need to learn. And I figured I need to learn this sooner or later because all the free channels are Spanish. Why the hell that is, I don't know. But whenever you do that, like antenna ears, I mean, if you learn Spanish, you gain like 10 channels automatically, free channels. So I do need to learn that because they have a really good movie selection on the Spanish channel.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
United States of America, the language is English.
Well,
try living in Miami for 38 years. It was crucial, and I'm conflicted. I came from a family who came to Ellis Island speaking nothing but Italian. Even some of my ancestors were locked up in New York in cages, but yet my grandfather refused any of us to speak anything besides English. We were not allowed to speak Italian at all in that family. So where's that gone? The respect of the freedom of the country of the free, the first freedom country. I get really upset. My husband, family speaks Spanish. He's Cuban. He's first generation Cuban. And his parents said the only way he could speak Spanish in the house, but he was not allowed to speak it outside the house. So at least he had a duality, right? I believe in duality. I believe that people who are interpreters, but I don't believe, like in Miami, if they come up and they'll go, hey, hola, whatever, bueno. And I'm like, hello. And then they'll speak to me in Spanish again. And I'll look back and I'll go, hello. And they'll speak in Spanish to me again. And then I look at them and I'm like, the last I knew this was United States of America. I fought for this country. My ass stamps red, white, and blue. I got a serial number that says it. Respect the country if you're going to be here. And that's how I see it. Respect the country if you're going to be here. There's interpreters you can put in your ear. There is interpreters like Google. You can have any translation thing. I believe that it's healthy and beneficial, but don't make it my language in my country, the country that I'm ill because of. I get and I know I'm not healed with that. I am there, and I'll be the first person as a healer saying, I don't want to talk about this because I'm not healed. And I will have nothing beneficial to say. And then when you tell me there's free shows when you speak Spanish and there's free this now who is our government catering to for that? Who are those shows catering to? Who is that network? Who is that app? What are they catering to? Is this why we're in a stalemate in Congress? Because of immigration law? That's where my mind frame goes to. And that's how I am about that. Because it hurts. It hurts. And I found that the respect of the United States has been lost. And I believe it's been lost to open border. I believe it's been lost to the plentiful Spanish speaking South America, Central America coming through. And I believe it wholeheartedly. And that makes me very sad. My husband, I told you, who is Cuban, who speaks beautiful Cubano, he always says, I don't speak Spanish, I speak Cuban. Okay, whatever that means, the dialect, I guess, how many dialects of Spanish. But he'll tell people in front of me in Miami, he's like, speak English. This is English. We're speaking English. And if he could do it, then and honor the United States, then how come nobody else can? Who does that? I'm just asking for a friend.
What is your opinion on that, Tracer? You're awfully quiet over there.
I mean, yes, the English is the language of the country. I get that. And I think business transactions should be done in English. But I also think there's room for us to learn other languages because we're the only country that really doesn't learn other languages. And we're forced to in high school now. You have to in order to graduate. But
you were forced to in the 80s. I don't mean to interrupt, but the 80s you were forced to speak. You had to take a language.
Well, hell, I know people that have master's degrees in Spanish.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Terry. I want you to know that that's been since the 80s, though. The 80s you had to take a language in the 80s. It started.
Yeah, I just know that I know a lot of people that have master's degrees in Spanish, and they can't even speak a lick of Spanish. And I'm like, how do you have your job then? And and her answer every single time is, "There's ways around it."
I'm sorry, Terry. I really want you to finish because
no, it's all right. But my sister has a minor in Spanish, but she speaks it and she uses it, and she goes to Mexico frequently and she uses her Spanish all the time. And they're really surprised to hear her speak Spanish because she's blonde and fair. And so they're surprised when she speaks Spanish. So, she tries to speak Spanish when she goes to Mexico because she understands that that's the culture and that's the language. And so she tries to use it best her ability. And so I feel like, yes, that is the truth. If you're in a country that speaks one language, you should try to use it. If you can't, you can't, but you at least attempt to use it. I went to France and I tried to use French, and they were very rude, and they told me to speak English because my French was horrible. So they told me just to speak English and get on with it because they weren't patient enough to listen to me. They just tell me what you want in English. So they were mad about it that I couldn't speak it or I didn't speak it fluently enough for their liking. Yeah. So I can see both sides of it because you do try to do that and then people are impatient with you and they just tell me what you want. So I see both sides of that equation. It's frustrating on both sides.
I didn't like France. Let me just say that. I went to France. I didn't like it. Cass liked it. And I just kept telling Cass, I'm like, remember, you realize how much money we would have saved if we didn't come to France? We could have did all these pictures. You could have seen this all on the internet. Yeah. The only good thing that came out of France was vanilla bean ice cream. Oh, that stuff was to die for. But other than that, oh yeah, I didn't like them. But but with Bad Bunny saying what he said on Saturday Night Live, basically, kind of, hey, you have 4 months to learn it. I mean, is that what we're doing now? Is we're being rude to everybody so that we get views or we get likes? Is that what we're doing? Because after what he said, I mean, I was gonna watch the Super Bowl, but now everything in me is like, you know what? I'll just skip the halftime show. I mean, I've done it before. I forget who was playing. Oh, it was Coldplay. They were playing. I skipped that one. I was at Super Bowl 50 and I skipped that one. It's not too hard. You just go to the bathroom and get your popcorn and hot dogs at that time. It's perfect. Lines are very vague during the halftime show, but the NFL definitely didn't think, the NFL doesn't think about its customers. I mean, that's the reason why they have now a game happening in Italy and they have a game happening in London, and they don't think about the players, because when the players go over to those countries and they play, I mean, it really takes abuse of their body because of the time frame and different things, the jet lag, the time difference. I mean, we're talking a significant time difference. So the NFL doesn't care one way or the other. I found that out, but I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way. He was probably being slick. He was probably just being funny, but it did. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way for him just to come out and announce that.
Yeah.
Well, but if their songs are traditionally in one language or another, just like Carol G, if you go to a Carol G concert, it's going to be in Spanish. So if you don't want to hear Spanish, then you don't go to Carol G concert.
Ricky Martin.
Right. I mean, he does both. And so he
does both.
He
Shakira
does.
does both too. Rihanna does both.
Shakira does both.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. So, I mean, I don't have any problem with hearing songs in another language if I know that's what I'm getting when I go or when the artist comes up. But I do agree that when somebody says something like, well, I guess you better learn Spanish. And even if they're joking, Saturday Night Live's kind of satirical anyway. And they're kind of like off the cuff and they're kind of, they're crude anyway, so maybe it was just him feeling that he had that latitude because of the show he's on. Right. But yeah, I think it probably wasn't the right thing to say.
It would have been funnier if he would say, hey, don't worry, if you don't know Spanish, cue cards will be provided.
Right? Or
that would be a lot
everybody
better
Duolingo.
So I don't know this, and maybe you two do. If they say something on an English station in Spanish, will the subtext on the TV come up in Spanish or English?
You have to set it.
You know that caption thing?
Right.
You have to set it.
You have to set it.
To whatever language you want.
Right.
Right. But if they're speaking in a different language, will it come up in English?
Only if you set it up, and most TVs don't have a smart caption like that.
Some
do.
The hearing impaired, like my mom, like I go to her house and she has to have the words on the TV, the caption, the whatever you call it, and she puts it on. So I'm thinking, wait, if they're going to do something in Spanish, will that come over in Spanish? Or will come over?
I don't think it will, because number one, there's two things that need to happen. Number one, you have to have your TV set up for that closed caption process. That's the number one thing. Number two, the NFL, if it's not a Spanish channel, because the Spanish channel will have closed caption Spanish, English channel will have closed caption English. The NFL would have to provide a script for the TV to kind of do, I mean, if they really wanted to be good, it could have English and then Spanish on top of each other. But I don't see them doing that.
A translator type of thing?
Right.
Yeah,
I don't see them doing that.
Either.
The best bet would be the translator thing that you was talking about, MJ, but half of those don't even work. Half of those you have to pay a monthly fee just to have that translation, that package. And then by the time you do buy the translation package, well, now you got to learn how to do it. And we all found out when I got glasses from TikTok shop, those things are still in China, and I can't turn them off because I don't know Chinese. All right, I pressed the wrong damn button.
He snorted. I think those dreads are freaking too tight. Joel, you're so funny. I can't.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being honest. Like I don't know if something just like tapped in my backpack or whatever. I'm like trying to figure out which way is on and off. And I mean, ChatGPT doesn't even help me with Barney.
Oh, I tried ChatGPT the other day. I was asking questions, and I literally go, you're biased. And it says, okay, let me reword it like this. And then it went through again. I'm like, you're full of crap. I go,
it's
that is
very biased when it comes to politics.
No, there's a lot of, remember I said this, be careful with AI, and ChatGPT is AI. Remember, whoever programs it, it's a robot. Whoever programs the notion is the mind frame of that person. Be mindful. And I called it out. I don't know how many times. And I go, that is BS, because blah, blah, blah. They go, oh, you got me. That's literally what it said. Oh, you got me. I'm like, that is awful. That is god awful, especially if children are trying to use ChatGPT for schooling. It's back to brainwashing. What are you really trying to do? This is why I don't go on a lot of social medias, because it is disgusting. And now even Google AI and ChatGPT, it's really disgusting. It really is. It is very biased. And I always tell people, just go to the libraries, go to the congressional libraries, go to Supreme Court libraries, go to White House libraries, because the documentations that are signed are there. You can read it, interpret it yourself.
Well, I don't know about how y'all's libraries are, but here in Colorado, our libraries, they're open for like 4 or 5 hours, and then they're closing them down because of budget cuts.
Well, I meant the internet libraries. Like, you can go to congressional libraries and on a
okay.
You can get into like the Doge libraries to see the monies and where it was going and stacked. The White House executive orders, what he actually signed, not what everybody in the world interpreted because they hate his guts on media. Like that thing. That's what I'm talking about. So, and you can see that. And when you get, and I think because when people get stifled into people going, that's false, that's a lie. I'm like, why are you just forwarding stuff? Because
it's unique that you bring that up, because one thing that I learned yesterday, I don't know, Terry, are we good, or do we need to go on a break?
Well, we really need a break, but I was going to let you have your thought first.
Okay. Well, so when we come back from break, the thought that I have is, I didn't know that when a government shutdown happens, that gives the president more executive orders to deal with. Yep. So, and that's something to keep in mind, since before 1976, we didn't have any government shutdowns. So now, all I can say is, hey, Democrats, the ball's in your court now.
Wake up, or he's just going to start signing orders.
Yeah. It doesn't benefit the Democrats now to be against the government shutdown, because now, since he learned it, I learned it, he can do executive orders and he doesn't even need them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna chew on that, and we'll talk about it when we come back. You're listening to Beyond the Headlines here on the station that's letting our veterans' voices be heard, MBR.
At Military Broadcast Radio, the goal is to offer a platform for mental health advocacy while connecting the military community through various media platforms. Founded by U.S. Army veteran Joel Hunt, MBR gives a voice to veterans, first responders, and their families through streaming radio, podcasts, video, and outreach events. With its leadership run completely by veterans and hosts of the diverse programming from all branches of service, MBR was created as a response to the silent battles veterans face after service. Military Broadcast Radio is also a Wreaths Across America partner, hosting a $5 backed sponsorship group page. For every Veterans Wreath sponsored through the Military Broadcast Radio page, MBR receives $5 back to help support their platforms and outreach. Veteran and first responder stories need to be told and shared. And with your support, MBR can continue to bring together veteran nonprofits, mental health organizations, and government agencies to bridge the gap between veterans and vital resources. To find out more and donate, visit wreathacrossamerica.org/MBR.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
That's the motto that I live. Every scar, every tear, got so much more to give. No pain, no gain. We rise up
He just worked himself right off the screen.
I'm like, that boogie move just took him right off set.
That was amazing. I don't know if you could ever do that again all time just right. That's funny.
I'm thinking the there he is. I'm thinking got him just kicked off. That was much.
I think so. Oops.
How seductive can you be, Jaw?
I guess, oh my Lord. All right. So, yeah, so before we went on break, I kind of brought that up, something that I'm like learning, and I don't know if it's a getting older thing or what, but like I'm learning all different kinds of things, from the tush push in the NFL to the hey, if you don't if you don't sign this government shutdown stuff, that's all right. I'll just make executive orders, which I'm okay with that, because I truly believe that when the government shut down, if our military isn't being paid, if government officials aren't being paid, then why the hell should they be paid?
Well, didn't he say okay with the Medicaid or something like that? And they're voting tonight. Because he was like, I'm going to give in on this, and he went back to the House Speaker Johnson. That's the only thing I saw was they're giving into this in order for, so whoever said I would sign it without that, then that's the speaker's going to those people who said, I need this. And so that's what it is. But it all deals with immigration. So I'm sure Trump's going to
they cut the something energy clean act grant here in Colorado, and everybody, like Paulus, he reported on Twitter like, hey, I can't believe you did this, blah, blah, blah. And like everybody in Colorado is pushing back. Dude, it's a scam. You guys aren't helping anybody. We're not feeling the effects of it. You're just taking in money. And I tell you, and unfortunately, Colorado is one of those states that's dealing with this stuff. They are. We have a Venezuela gang that is still occupying parts of the area of Colorado. Right. And it's almost like,
look at Gavin Newsom's already suing him. The guy in Chicago's suing him. Portland's suing him. So he's trying to clean up this mess. And it's just dysfunction.
Because it doesn't fit their narrative.
It's
that's anybody. If it doesn't fit their narrative, then that's all they're going to do is they're going to sue. That's what they do.
Do you want to talk about something happier?
Yes. What do we have? Do you have something, Trace? On you have a new. Did you want to talk about your no? Okay, all right. I have no idea.
I know.
I'm like so flustered right now. I don't know what to say.
Well, let me help you out. Can I help you out?
Okay.
So this one, because of my own health and those veterans, this is spinal cord repair advances in biology and technology. A recent spinal cord injury research focuses on combining biological and technological advances, including gene therapy, stem cell transplantation, and biomaterial scaffolds to promote nerve regeneration and functional recovery of SCIs. Technologies like 3D printing and nanomedicines are creating customized scaffolds to guide the axon growth, while the neuroprosthetics and neuromodulation utilize electrical stimulation to bypass damage and activate existing neural circuits. They're basically dancing molecules. And other injectable therapies are also being developed to reverse paralysis and promoting tissue repair.
That's awesome. And and it's funny you bring that up because I have a couple of friends that I saw them posting this on their Facebook that they're doing it because he's like walking. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because he's been in a wheelchair ever since the explosion. And I'm like, oh shit, what happened? And he was like, I got legs, Lieutenant Dan. I got legs. And I'm like, okay, that's funny.
Oh,
And
God bless.
it's awesome. I'm telling you, new technology has definitely helped. I mean, if I didn't have a GPS, I'd be so screwed. Because as many times as I've been to the studio or as many times as I've been to Walmart without GPS, I cannot get to the place. Hell, there's been times where something's been sent to me and I send it to Trace and I'm like, I don't even comprehend this, you know?
Right.
Whenever, and I don't know if everybody deals with this, but whenever there's like a paragraph full of words and it's not separated by like 3 lines, like all those words and everything, they run in together, and it just it complicates things for me because I've got 2 things. I've got to concentrate for the words not to run into each other, and then I've got to concentrate on how to comprehend what I'm reading. And I know I'm not the only one that deals with that. So, but it just when you're dealing with somebody that has TBI, be patient with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's spinal cord injury, SCI. It deeply. I watch it a lot. I watch Tesla, Elon Musk. He's doing some amazing like wheelchair stuff where you now for people to walk, they can walk and they can have the chair right there. There's lifts. Like I'm building my ADA house, and the military is showing me stairs that turn into a lift that go up. It's like an amazing thing, an amazing process when I get wheelchair bound. And
wow.
I'm like, I can't believe this, because I would have to have almost a 32-foot ramp to get into my home if that wasn't in existence. And then,
wow.
as you know, most people know that having wheelchair ramps can lower the value of your home. And I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I will tell you that Home Depot has a program that happens every year, especially in November, that they have a grant to where you can apply for these Home Depot gift cards. They'll give you up to, I believe it's $5,000 in gift cards if you can find veterans that will help you and create kind of like a team or whatever. The Home Depot will then provide you those gift cards so that you can do whatever you need to do. Like for me, when I was in a wheelchair, they put together the wood fence because I had a service dog. Others they do ramps. Others they do balancers. Others, they put fences just around all the yard. So they do have that program out there. So if you are not getting anywhere with the VA because the VA has a lot of red tape, if you're not getting anywhere with the VA, just know that they do have a grant program with Home Depot. And one of the ways you can look into it is it's a nonprofit called The Mission Continues. If you write The Mission Continues and you tell them, hey, I've got about 12 veterans that are willing to help, if you could send me a liaison person to facilitate these gift cards, we can make this happen. And it can make that happen. And, if you're listening to this and you're getting the runarounds, you can always reach out to us here at MBR and we can get that set up and help you in that way too. It's Home Depot partnering up with The Mission Continues, and it's like a gift card grant thing that they do every single year.
Well, I told you today about this. I don't know if Terry knows about it, but I just found out that there is something called the Time of Living Grant, and it refers to the various government and organizational grants available to assist individuals with living expenses or housing. It actually falls behind the revocational grant. And it does things for low-income home energy assistant programs. So if you want help with the energies, you have the Time of Living Grant. That can help for that. You also have energy costs and temporary assistance for needy families, TANF, and for general family needs. And you also have programs like the VA Special Home Adaptation, which I got that grant when I was in Miami. I never used, so that's why I'm doing it now. And the Temporary Resistant Adaptation Grant for housing modifications due to disability. So there's a lot of grants, especially in other options that include rural development grants for home repair and Social Security benefits or supportive housing programs for those disabilities as well. There's a lot out there.
And just so you know, because I'm going through it right now, Tracer knows it. Sometimes in your life when you feel like the rain is coming down and it's just pouring, you think to yourself, well, why is it that I can help other people, but I can't seem to help myself during, these times of trials? And the reason why is because when it's happening to you, you're kind of going through that trauma. You're kind of going, flabbergasted, it's almost like a wreck. You get in a wreck and you know what you need to do, but because of everything that's going, you're not thinking clearly. So that's the reason why when you come up on, oh shit, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Don't try to fight it. Reach out to your battles, Like I reached out to my board. Hey, we've got this going on. I'm starting to have like a panic attack, But I just want to reassure to all veterans that, you're not the only one that's going through that. I go through that. Tracer goes through that. MJ goes through that. Every veteran goes through that. Okay. Just because we don't put it on Facebook, hey, I need prayers, I need thoughts, doesn't mean that we don't go through that. It's just we have a support system and we know that sometimes we need to lean on each other. Absolutely. So look at that duck that you get from MBR. And remember, there's a reason why we have this kooky duck. It's not because we're child play or we're immature. It's because, you can give somebody a challenge coin all day long and they're not going to get the same effect when they look at the challenge coin and they look at the duck and they look at the duck and they remember, well, shit, I can weather through anything. I'm telling you, you just have to wait until the next day. Reach out to your battle buddies. Reach out to your support channel. They'll help you get through that because my board has, So I just wanted to reiterate that for a lot of veterans because I know I'm not the only one going through some stuff right now. I've talked to several veterans this week, that have been going through stuff. Yeah, exactly. And, if you haven't checked out Josh's show, he's on After Hours.
In a couple of minutes.
Me and Tracer was talking about that. Oh, my God. He has a really good show. You guys need to check it out. He has some great interviews. He's doing some new things with, his appearance, his jazz up, his overlays and stuff. I reached out to him the other day and I told him that he was doing amazing. This is only like his fourth or fifth show, so make sure that you tune in after we get off the air. He always has a fabulous show. He really does. I'm not blowing smoke up his ass.
He does.
All right.
Well, with that, I think we better sign off so he can get on the platform.
Yeah, I think so too. Everybody, we are here every Monday talking about the oohs and the ahs of the political as the White House turns. And you're listening to Beyond the Headlines here on the station that's letting our veterans be heard. MBR with a little bit of eye candy. See you next Monday, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio.
As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.